it's Guido coming at you with a tactics talk. This is take two. You wouldn't necessarily know that unless I said, but I really got down the rabbit hole on this one and made a big mistake. We'll talk about that in a minute. We are going to move on for video making on Fridays. We're going to have series. We already did the least played series. We are now going to transition to the worst win rate at each tier, but we're going to make it only for the Tech Tree tanks on this particular series. So we'll go from tier 1 to tier 10. Tech Tree only, so we kind of got an apples to apples and oranges to oranges idea there. We're not going to sully it with all of those premiums. We're going to start at tier 1, which is relatively easy because there are no premiums. I don't believe there are any premiums at tier 1. And I cheated a little bit. Usually I kind of find out with you guys, but I needed to set this one up and get everything sorted out. It is the Renault FT. The French tier 1 has the worst win rate. We're going to use NA, although I believe it's the same on EU on this particular one. We come over here to Chrome, and we can see that the FT in the overall, and again, this is on tomato.gg's numbers, which I realize aren't all the numbers, but we're just going to use this particular website for this series. It's rocking a 373 win 8, a 48.05, which is not much worse than the Cruiser one, but it is the lowest win rate overall on this website, and its DPG, I believe, from what I can tell there, is the lowest. Yes, 88, the lowest DPG. Kind of interesting on this thing, because it has two guns. The second gun, and the one I'm going to use, is, I believe, a large machine gun, a 13.2 millimeter Hotchkiss pew-pew gun. It's a magazine loading system. It has 15 shells in each magazine, and it doesn't do a lot of damage. 8 damage and 23 pen, whereas the 37 millimeter, a little bit more traditional type of gun at tier 1 here, punches for 30, that big old damage, and 29 penetration, of course, with more if you are running a PCR. So this carries a bunch of ammo. We're going to run the little pew-pew just for giggles and see how that works. One thing I did want to show you here, fellas, and a lot of you may know this already, so probably 99.9%, but I learn new things that I should know all the time, or perhaps I'm relearning them, I don't know. You can see this camo here. Sometimes I'm asked, hey, what is that camo? Well, funny you should ask that, because all we got to do is go to exterior, click on the tank that has the camo, and go up to the eye. Style details. All right, seems pretty easy, doesn't it? It's called fine tune. So if you're looking for that camo, that is what it's called, and it's got a little bit of tells you if it's historical or non-historical. And of course, they're all +3 bonus as long as you've got camo on the whole. And a little blurb here about this particular one. I'm not sure where it came from. It sounds like maybe it was an event of some kind, from what I can tell. So we got the little pew pew going on. I did buy some basic crew members. It actually looks pretty good with all of these skills, but notice they're all at 0%. So the commander is a commander, gunner, radio operator, loader, and the driver's a driver. This guy is really busy. There's 2 crew in this thing. I've got Filbert Molina and Romain Monin, I don't know. 2 guys in this tank. Again, just the free recruits. At least these days they're 100% since they've changed that. There's no equipment at tier 1, as you remember, and I'm carrying a pretty good amount of gold ammo or special ammo or premium ammo, and I'm going to end up spending a lot of money fighting this tank for sure. So we're going to go ahead and jump into a game. We're going to show you the worst win rate on each tier with the Tech Tree tanks. Again, we're going to exclude the premium tanks and see how I do in one game. Standard disclaimer on this: if generally you will see the first and only game that I play. If it's a complete ship show, I might do a second one, but sometimes that's funny enough and we'll just move on with the series. Least played. More than likely what we're going to end up here with is a bunch of bots, and it's going to be a long wait, so I'm not going to make you wait. We'll go ahead and pause right here while I get into this game. While we wait, check this out. We're just going through these numbers a little bit, and this is pretty standard. We got the lowest win rate. We have the lowest DPG for the FT. We have the lowest frags. All of those things correlate to being bad. Count-wise, it's played a bit because people want to go through the French line. Hit percentage is second to last. Spots is third to last. Survival is bizarrely higher. Although there's not a whole lot of difference between these survival rates. Although the T1 down at 23% is kind of interesting. And then XP, it is second to last. Actually, the medium one has 1 point less, so we're really kind of fighting for last place right there. So all those numbers track for a tank that's just not very good. We are still waiting, guys. We are sitting at 1:22. I might not get a game. I don't know. I think eventually it gives you one with bots, but we'll see. Don't know. Well, I've sat here for 15 minutes. This is a problem, Wargaming. You can't even get a tier 1 battle, even with bots. I don't understand. Very curious. There must be a minimum amount of players before they'll just give you an all bot game. I'm not sure what's going on with that. What I'm going to do though is I have to get to work, so we're going to come back to this in the afternoon. I'm now curious about how I'm going to get into a tier 1 battle. But if you're a brand new player starting, I think it might not be an issue because I believe there's different rules for brand new players. But if you're an established player and you haven't done a line, I guess your options are just a free XP through tier 1. I mean, I like tier 1. Tier 1 is kind of interesting. I'm not going to hang out there all the time in Seal Club, but it's cool tanks. They've spent time with the historical accuracy. They're probably some of the more historical tanks in the entire damn game because most of them, if not all of them, actually existed. But, you know, this is part and parcel of the game. It's all part of the issues the game is having. It's probably a small issue as far as Wargaming is concerned based on the other massive issues they have at the top end of the game, but it is a bit frustrating. Just wanted to play a tier 1 and show you guys, you know, the worst win rate. I think we'll get there, but I'm going to have to try later on when maybe there's a few more people playing. I hate to go over to EU, but that's another possibility. I could just go play it over on the EU server. That might be interesting just to see what happens in terms of how fast we can get into a game. We'll be back to it. For you, it's going to be seconds. For me, I'm going to work, and then we'll see you in a moment. Sure. Ah, there we go. Why did my microphone between the morning and the afternoon unhook itself? I don't know. I have no idea. But we're back. All right, so what do we get? It is the afternoon, by the way. We do not have a full 15v15. We are going to load up APs. Humans right to the river, please. Okay, sure, man. Let's do it, General. General. There's a platoon? Wait. Oh, they're tier 2 guys. Okay. Pasky. Is he a guy? Yes, because the bots always have a first name and a last name. Alright, I like it. Is this the platoon, the 2B2? Did he not say go to the river? Who said? Humans to the river, BT2. Let's push left. Oh my gosh, okay. They got me, fellas. They got me. They said humans go to the river, and I'm trying to be a good tier 1 player and listen to the experts. That's what I'm trying to do. Ooh, that's some ricochets right there. I feel like that Panzer II's in trouble. I'm going to have a hard time getting there in time. Yep, he's definitely in trouble. T2 Light's going to rage in. That's going to help. Those are bots. So we're actually alright. I don't know where their platoon... Ooh, oh boy. Oh my gosh, this gun thing's... Whoa, that guy. He attacked. Wait, what happened? I don't know. Let's reload. This thing's gun is atrocious. It's terrible. I'm going to charge up and over, fellas. Yamato Gaming, that's a person. That is definitely a person. Alright, we're going to try to very slowly. Boy, I can tell why this has the worst win rate. Hey, U.S. Ordnance, man. Try not to die, bro. We need you. We need you. They don't know I'm coming. This is going to be a sneak attack. Here's the question. Can I get... Well, that didn't... It was not as exciting as I wanted it to be, but it worked out pretty good. Okay, again, not as exciting as I wanted it to be, but worked out. Okay. I think I'm going to turn around, guys. Is there just bots? The 2 humans are over there, I'd say. The Panzer II, yes. Okay, so the 2 humans are over there. We got the Light and the Panzer II. I'm going to very, very, very slowly go this way. You know what? They got it. We're going this way. Our human platoon is going to hunt down their last human. I feel like... Are they all over there? Maybe not. There must be some Camp Alamading-dangs. Nope, 2 of the 4 are bots, or all 4 are bots, and 2 of them are unaccounted for, so I'm guessing they're back here. I did 185 damage, guys. I can see why this is the worst tier 1 tank. It hasn't got much going on for it here. It's slow. The gun was, even with the machine gun thing going on, was less than impressive. The R-Otsu just hanging out there. So we know where all 3 of them are now, fellas. We know where all 2 of them are now, fellas. Look at that Panzer II. Of course, I'm in a tier 2 battle, so the tier 2s are raging around, killing everything in sight, and I'm just not able to get any of it done. Will he survive it? No, he will not. I know where all 1 of them are now, fellas. I know where... that joke is done. That joke is done. Wow, that was an interesting wait. We waited all day to get into a tier 1 battle in the FT French tier 1 worst win rate on the NA server for tier 1. This is overall as well. However long that site tomato.gg has been keeping stats. Let's see where we ended up here. Well, not too bad. Looks like we beat 1 human at least. No, we didn't. Hold on. We're worse than I thought. Here we go. Was that damage? I don't know. We still beat 1 human in experience. We cranked out a serious 195. Look at this guy went off. Old Panzer II guy. Panzer II, is this a tech tree tank? Or is it one of the OP thing? I think it is a Panzer. Or I think it is a tech tree tank. Let's check it out. Going to be a tier 2. Sherman. Panzer II. Oh yeah, it's tech tree tank. Just a little zoom. Another little autocannon thing going on, I believe. Is that right? Kind of. We can have an autocannon, or we can do a little 3.7 centimeter. Quick. Nice. Now, this is always fun, fellas. This is the fun part, really. You'd think that playing the game is the fun part, but not really down here. Down here, it's fun to find out who is hanging out down at tier 1 and 2. What do we got, fellas? We have 12,000 battles, 47. Okay, new guy. He loves the low tiers, you bet. Panzer II, he's raging in the Panzer II a lot. Okay, good on him. A Tetrarch, that is a premium. How about this? Is this a Seal Clubber? He's only got 8,000, so again, another new guy. I'm not bothered by people with that low of a battle rate hanging out here and doing this. He's unlocked a T29. He likes his M2 medium. He does have some medium tier, so I wouldn't classify him as a Seal Clubber necessarily. BT2, what do we got there? Well, I didn't look at it. 10,000. Whoa. Reroll. 10,000 battles. This has got to be a Seal Clubber. What do you think? Are we going to see a couple tier 10s up in the 60s? No, I don't think so. Oh, hey, ho, BT2. We have found him. A relatively low battle, perhaps reroll, but certainly loves the Seal Clubbage. 7,649 battles in his BT2 with a 75% win rate. I will give him one thing. I have to give him props. 75 is pretty impressive. Was he in the platoon? He was. All right. Good. Holy macaroni. U.S. Ordnance. What do we got here? Another relatively new guy. Decent win rate. And probably not a Seal Clubber. He's moved up a little bit. A lot of this is low tier stuff, but he has some battles in other tiers. And I wouldn't classify that necessarily as a Seal Clubbing. If he is, then he's not doing a very good job of it. What about AGT? Oh, we already got him, didn't we? Oh, are these? Oh, we have the possibility of 2 BT2. What do you think? Do we have a co-conspirator here in Seal Clubbing? I tend to think so, probably. 14,000 and a 57. Let's see. Ooh, no, not necessarily. Well, kinda. Sorta, kinda. Loves the E25, though. Has some higher tier stuff and does pretty good in it, actually, so not bad overall. But he's definitely down there whack-a-moling a bit in his BT2. I think most people would probably classify him as also a bit of a Seal Clubber. And Sergeant G2, what do we got going on here? Brand new guy, so even if he has a lot of... Oh, okay, that's odd. Interesting. boy, he's struggling a bit, fellas. He's definitely struggling, but he is playing some other stuff. And I appreciate that. LTTB, the lightweight, MT25, likes the light tanks. Not really doing very well. He is definitely struggling, but he's working on it. All right, cool. What about the other team? What do we got? We'll just go quickly. Husker Du. 10,000 battles, and likes already, hangs out in the lower tiers. Not good enough really to be a worry in seal clubbing. What about the Hago? Brand new, certainly not a seal clubber, trying to figure out the game. Although he does have a charioteer that he rocks at 35%. So new guy trying to learn. Gotta love it. Aliulius. 37,000 battles. What's going on here, fellas? Alrighty then. Yep. Sorry to say, a failed seal clubber. It's not a big deal that someone like that's down there because he's not even rocking much over 50%. But loves the lower tiers. I guess this is just a connoisseur of lower tiers, really. I don't think you could probably say he's a seal clubber. Milo in the cruiser. What do we got going on here? New guy, brand new guy. Okay, just look. Oh boy, Matt. He's got a tier 9 already. You may want to stick around the lower tiers a little bit more, but he's working on it. Hidden Blades. T7 car, 13,000, 47%. What do we got? No, not necessarily a seal clubber. Is running some of the lower tiers, but also trying to learn the game as well as a newer player. And Jetmark, who did not have a great game. What do we got here? 32,000. What do we like to do? We love the low tiers. Kind of a failed seal clubber there as well. You know what? That's unfair. Failed seal clubber. That's kind of a unfair thing. If they're hanging out at 50% and that's just where they like to play and how good they are, then who cares? Good on them. So I apologize to the guys I called the failed seal clubbers, but there were certainly a couple, 3 professional ones in there, especially this SFF car. Who is this? The guy? Yeah. Yep. He's definitely padding them stats down low. I don't know why. Make you feel good, I guess. Sure, go for it. So, fellas, back to the French Tier 1. Well, I guess it is a light tank, really, isn't it? What is? Oh. The Renault FT. I used a little autocannon. Didn't do a whole bunch in the game. What did I do? 80-something damage? 185. All right, so at least I was about twice the average. Good on me. Slow. Didn't really get to test the armor very much. Gun questionable. You might want to go with the other one. I was able to get some damage on the side of those guys, but I was just too slow to stay with the fight. Once I got in there and got fighting, we got some damage, was able to get around behind, or at least to the side of a couple guys, but then the fight just left me and this thing was unable to keep up. Unfortunately, there were some tier 2s that were much faster in the game, so they were able to get in there and gobble up the hit points. And there you have it. So this series is going to do it on each Wednesday, tier 1 through 10. We're going to play the worst win rate on NA overall from Tomato.gg Tech Tree Tanks. That's it. Got to put all that stuff in there. That's what we're going to do. Next week it will be on to tier 2, which should be slightly more interesting because there's going to be more tanks in the competition, I guess. I mean, honestly, we're just going to sort it by worst win rate and find out. You guys have a fantastic weekend. We will see you on Coffee Talk this Sunday. Have a good one. See ya.